Hi, this is Isabel Florence, and you are listening to You Are Light podcast, a safe space where we talk about mental health and well-being. Hello, my lovely. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. I took a very long break. I have been trying to understand better my idea of productivity in relationship to my idea of what relaxation, healthy relaxation looks like. And it's a minefield. There is a lot of programming that has been done my whole life, which means that my mindset is not healthy a lot of the times when it comes to my allowing of my own time to just relax and do nothing. I usually connect relaxation with still productivity. So in the past, I have relaxed while always exercising, moving my body, practicing self-reflection, with always a goal to grow. And so, what can it mean for me if I start to believe that it might be healthy to stop, to just be? I wonder if you have some of these mindsets programmed as well. And where do you believe they come from? Anyway, this is not what we're talking about today. I went off topic already. Today, we're going to talk about weight loss drugs. I want to warn you first that I am going to talk about eating disorders. I'm going to talk about weight loss. I'm going to talk about things that might trigger you. If you struggle with an eating disorder, I would suggest you proceed with caution and always consult your doctor or healthcare provider if you have any questions. So first, I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with weight loss drugs. Then I'm going to explain to you how specific drugs work, what they do in the body, what they are influencing. And then we're going to discuss why these drugs have been so craved for so long and why we have such a high demand right now. Why is there this Ozempic craze, Because it is an influence of our society and the messages that we are told. So, growing up in Brazil, I saw how available weight loss drugs were. And I really believe that the weight loss drugs that I could possibly come in contact if I really tried were really strong and quite dangerous. Thankfully, I was very young in Brazil when I left. I was 18. But when I arrived in England, I found myself in a very difficult, emotionally very difficult phase of my life where my disordered eating really started, I would say. And I had a lot of freedom because I was alone. So, of course, I went searching on the internet for a magic pill that I could take to lose weight. I've never told anyone about this, but I actually bought pills. And I've been trying today to find out exactly what they were because I don't remember. And I'm not sure how clear it was when I bought it, even how clear it was what was in these drugs. But I took it for a while and not much happened in terms of my weight. And I did feel in my body the effects of these drugs. I felt my heart would start racing and I felt anxious. So I stopped taking these drugs. But as an 18-year-old with a very fragile mental state and someone who has been told all her life that being skinny means being successful, means being beautiful, means being worthy, of course I would go looking for something. And of course, if I had found that something, even if it came with very dangerous side effects, of course I would take it. I was reckless. And this is the thing that really scares me about the availability of weight loss drugs these days without clear description of the side effects, of the risks, especially of people taking it that are not obese, especially people taking it when they haven't been prescribed this drug by a doctor. People like who I was when I was 18, young girls who receive a very specific story by the media and are looking to be seen be worthy, and be loved. It just shows how susceptible young women can be to these things. And it scares me. There was a craze in the 90s of amphetamines being used for weight loss. Amphetamines work by increasing the levels of certain neurotransmitters in the brain. It makes you very alert. You cannot sleep. It gives you a lot of energy and you become very focused and you lose appetite. One of the notable aspects of this epidemic of people using amphetamines for weight loss was the abuse of drugs like fenfluramine and dexfenfluramine. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but these two drugs were used in combination and they were called fen-phen. And when you type fen-phen on Google, the next word that comes on the search suggestions is death. There were thousands of lawsuits filed by individuals who took fen-phen and experienced adverse effects. It was shown to cause potential fatal pulmonary hypertension and heart valve problems. So a lot of people suffered from this epidemic. You would have thought that something like this would make people aware of how dangerous weight loss drugs can be. But here we are again, in a way. And people are, again, doing everything that they can to look as thin as possible. I myself have someone really close to me who struggled with eating disorders and became addicted to amphetamines. And this person is a victim of their environment, the ideals that were put in their head, and the availability of these drugs, as well as the lack of conversation, the lack of knowledge, the lack of transparency when it comes to these things. And this is why I'm here. There is a lot of information on the internet. Very young people have the ability to search through this information. And I think the more open we are about how dangerous some of these things are, the better. Because what happens is when you are very young and you believe that you have to reach a certain weight to feel desirable and loved, you will not share with people about your struggle. The first thing that you will do is to try and find the solution by yourself, alone. Because a lot of people have shame around this topic. There is a lot of judgment when it comes to people's weight. Overweight people are judged by their doctors, judged by society. And so if you are someone who feels very vulnerable, you're not going to share something that you're ashamed of. You're going to try and fix it by yourself. And that can be very dangerous. So now let's talk about Ozempic. Ozempic is a medication used to help with type 2 diabetes. It works by mimicking a specific hormone in the body called GLP-1. This hormone is usually naturally released in the body after meals. It makes you feel satiated. It tells your pancreas to release insulin, the hormone that helps regulate blood sugar. It's something that naturally occurs in our body. And we are injecting ourselves with a synthetic version of this hormone. There is a list of risks associated with medications like Ozempic, such as hypoglycemia, gastrointestinal side effects, pancreatitis, thyroid tumors, acute kidney injury, allergic reactions, and bone fractures. So it's a long list, but also a lot of medication that we take have a long list of possible side effects. It doesn't mean they're going to happen. The thing is, if you have a condition where the risks of continuing with that condition is more dangerous than the risks related to using a drug like Ozempic, I can understand why you would consider it. If it is to better your life and to keep you alive, yes, I understand. It is a very useful drug. But I didn't find out about Ozempic because someone with type 2 diabetes was taking it. I found out about it through social media because of the fact that everyone in Hollywood is taking it, because celebrities are taking it. And that makes me wonder whether young girls who struggle with their body image would also find out about Ozempic in that way. When they are in that mindset that I was when I was 18, wanting to be loved and seen and doing everything that I could. It is public awareness now of the effectiveness of semaglutide in weight loss. And it is a drug that is quite easily purchased. If you have enough money and if you have the internet, you can probably get it. And that is really sad. Another sad part of this drug is that there's so many people using it for weight loss, people that might not need it, that the people that actually have the disease and need it are running out. So because it's being subscribed for weight loss, there is a huge shortage now of this drug. All of this says a lot about the society that we live in, about the ideals that we are sold, about how little has changed in the past years. We all kind of told ourselves that body positivity was a thing and that this pressure for thinness was not as relevant anymore, but I don't believe that. The difficult part is that with the fact that we are still idealizing the thin comes the fact that 70% of Americans are overweight or obese now. That by 2035, half of the world is estimated to be obese or overweight. So a lot of people are gaining weight, but we are still idolizing very, very thin bodies. Of course, a drug like Ozempic is gonna fly off the shelves, but this drug does not deal with the underlying reasons, the roots of the problems that we are facing. The fact that a lot of us are gaining a lot of weight, and even those that are not idealize an unsustainable physique. And with social media nowadays, the physique that we are looking to achieve is not real, is edited and photoshopped. So we are selling an image that is impossible to achieve as happiness, while most of society becomes overweight and obese, gains weight. We are using the drug to deal with the consequence of having the society the way that it is. Why are we not talking about the reason why so many people are obese nowadays? Why do we still judge the individual? Could it be that we are all too stressed? Could it be that a lot of money has been used to create highly addictive processed foods that hijack our gut health and our brains? Could it all be a result of a loneliness epidemic where we are craving connection, looking for a warmth that we can only find in food? I know that my eating disorder was at its worst when I felt the loneliest. That can't be a coincidence. Maybe it's because we spend more and more days in front of a screen in the office to then get home to sit down in front of a screen to watch something or to go on our phones, another screen, and we're not moving our bodies. We're not going outside. Perhaps it's because it is immensely cheaper to eat a highly processed diet than it is to eat a whole foods, healthy diet where you need time and you need knowledge. A healthy body can signal to the brain when it's had enough, when it feels full. This magic feeling that people are feeling with Ozempic is something that is naturally there. I don't believe that it is people's individual fault that this signaling system is not working. It is a lot of factors combined. And I would wish that instead of placing a band-aid on the issues and taking a pill or injecting something to fix it, we would look at all of the things that are creating this overweight society, overweight world. But to do that, it would take a lot longer. The issue is not with the individual, it's with all the messages that we receive our whole lives. So I hope that you and I can both be more open about how we feel about our bodies and our food, be more vulnerable, and be more active in understanding what is happening in our bodies, understanding the mechanisms that we might be hijacking with too much stress, with too much screens, with too little movement, with too much sugar. We all need to learn more and share as much as we can of the things that we find. Because a society that goes so crazy about a weight loss drug is a society that needs a lot of work and a lot of help. And I hope we still have time to help the people that are young, to educate those that are young and quite vulnerable. It's a heavy topic, I know, I'm sorry. But to see the light, we have to work with the shadow as well. I love you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening. All the links are written down on the show notes, as well as resources for anyone struggling with their mental health. Don't forget to subscribe so you're notified when we release new episodes. Also, feel free to share our podcast with your friends and family. And if you'd like to get involved, explore our content, or support our work, visit our website www.yourlight.earth. That's YOUR-light.earth. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at u.r.light. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.